I didn't read at all. I don't like reading.
This is an anti-literacy podcast now.
I'm unlearning reading. I'm actively trying to make it so I can't read anymore. I have had what some scientists describe as 2 beers with dinner.
Wow. Okay. So is this a good thing or a bad thing for you?
I'm not sure yet. It's a new space for me.
Okay.
If we have any OGs from the early Podtimism days, you'll remember that in 2020, you remember 2020,
a lifetime ago.
It was a lifetime ago, and things were a little different then. I would say a combination of boredom and despair drove both of us to record a podcast. I would say more inebriated than is necessary to make a podcast.
We were still getting through our early podcasting jitters, and we might have self-medicated. Sure. And I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it.
I was sort of medicating the other half of it. I can't go outside, but I'm going to pretend this is all chill.
Yeah.
That half of it. But I would say in the last 2 years, I've sort of just not, because I was like, I think I make a better argument, a better pod without. But tonight, David, on Video Game Podtimism, the Optimist video game variety show where 2 best friends talk about the wonderful world of gaming. My name is Chase.
And my name is David.
I had 2 beers with a very good smash burger. I will say delicious burger.
Nice.
At Gasworks Brewing. Shout out in Seattle.
Okay. Is that the one around the corner from your house?
No, that's Project 9. Shouts out also to Project 9 Brewing. But yeah, had the 2 of them. And I'm sort of interested to see what kind of space that brings us to here. Because you yourself were talking up the drink that you were having, and some of the details were that it was aged in bourbon barrels.
Aged in bourbon barrels, this beer. Right. It's an imperial stout aged in bourbon barrels. So who knows what that means, but it tastes good.
It does taste good. I have had those before. I totally agree. But and listen, not to make hey, it's fucking fun. Yeah, hey, we're bro now. That's not the thing I'm doing right now. But just it's sort of a cousin to the Dayquil episode.
That was kind of your vibe before we hit record, though.
A little, yeah. I had to get it out. I had to speak it into existence.
That version of Chase. Chut is around the corner.
Yeah, Chut Buttby is in the room, but I'm not going to let him in the driver's seat.
He's not going to let him out the cage. Hey, what kind of beers did you have?
I had a West Coast Pilsner made with West Coast hops, delicious, and a dark Mexican lager, which I would say is also delicious. Like a sort of Negro Modelo sort of vibe,
Ooh, yeah, that's tasty.
It was good. It was very good. But as a result, who knows? Maybe we don't even talk about video games this whole time, David.
Are you feeling saucy even though you had a burg?
No, not really. It's more a question of, is the outro going to be the sleepiest endeavor you've heard on this episode or not?
It's just a sleep pill. Gotcha. That's what you're saying. It's a cousin of the Dayquil episode.
Yes. Yeah. Because the COVID era was, let me get as close as I possibly can to maybe not being able to do this podcast. And right now it's, let me stay just above board so I can actually still go to bed.
Sure.
Which is, the threshold is much higher, much lower. I don't know where it is.
It's somewhere.
What's going on, man? What you doing? What's happening with those video games though?
I've been playing them.
Yeah,
I've been playing them a bit.
I'd really love to hear where you're at, what you're playing, how you're feeling. What's the song of your soul?
The song is Silk. It's just pretty much been Silksong. I got bit.
Without spoiling it, where are you?
I am in the nasty jail. The nasty jail with the worms.
You in the slab?
And the cockroaches. No, there's cockroaches and spooky parasite water and a guy in a cage. Yeah, Sinners walk.
Rest? Walk. Yes.
Is it walk? Sinners walk. That sounds right.
Something like that.
The realm of sinners. That's
the nasty zone.
The nasty zone. Yeah, I'm in the Miyazaki zone because it's like a poison swamp in here.
Oh, sure enough. I thought you meant the other Miyazaki. I watched The Wind Rises this week, and I was like, I don't think that was I don't think he's known for being nasty.
No, he's known for being anti-nasty, I think.
Yeah. Also, speaking of which, goddamn, The Wind Rises. That is a fucking movie.
Was it good?
Lord have mercy. Yeah, that was a good one.
Is that the one about about the person who makes planes.
Yes, okay. Exactly.
Okay.
I was like a little hesitant, I will say, jumping into that one because like I kind of like some of the surrealism that they bring usually of like this is not takes place in our world.
Yeah.
But they have enough like dream sequences that make up for that I'm totally chill with. Oh man, it's good. It's another one of those like almost Hirayasumi kind of deals. I guess Hirayasumi is more like this, where it is I would say pretty life affirming work while kind of just like being almost like meandering in a way. The movie's definitely like about something, but there's like so many snapshots of this dude's life that are just like one after the other that I'm like, how is this going to amount to like a movie at the end of it? And sure enough, here we are, David.
They did it.
It's good. It's very good. Shocking. I know.
Okay.
Sorry, that was derailing.
No, it's fine. It was a little, not a manga minute, but a anime minute.
Yeah.
Animated movie minute right there.
Yeah. How are you feeling about Silksong though?
Silksong is good. I got bit by the bug and the game is very fun. It is different than Hollow Knight. It's speedy. It's quick. It's fast. I'm really enjoying it. It was worth the wait. I don't know if it's worth the hype. If anything could ever be worth that amount of hype, but it was worth the wait. Some of these bosses are just so good. I know you were in love with the music. I'm in love with the visuals. The game is just so clean looking. Yeah. My God. There are so many games nowadays that just become a visual barrage, and I just lose track of things because there's just so much going on screen at once. They're so good at just making it not minimalist. There's still a lot of detail and love put into everything, but they just know how to bring your attention to the right thing at the right time while also still letting you enjoy like the larger picture of what they're showing you in any one moment. Like, a game like Cuphead, amazing to look at. If I'm not playing the game, I can really enjoy it. But when I'm playing the game, I'm just like so entranced in like following all the little bullets that I can't like truly enjoy and see the insane amount of craftsmanship and work that went into like all these animations that they have done, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I don't feel that way with this game. I feel like I'm really just seeing everything and then also able to pinpoint the things that I need to avoid or attack or hit, right?
Yeah. It's very readable.
It's very readable.
Surprising.
Yeah. It's great. It really is a special game, I think. Yeah, still having a blast with Silksong.
Yeah, nice. Can I jump on there? I also
please.
have been playing the game.
Get in here.
I agree. I'm in sort of like the last part of the game, so far as I can surmise. And it has got the difficulty has gotten pretty intense at this point, which like I'm enjoying. It's definitely the part that they're like, you have an off ramp at a certain point if you're not the difficulty freak.
You've chosen to be here, so here's what you
Yes, exactly. Like you had to make kind of a concerted effort to do this. So like it doesn't feel unreasonable that it is quite so hard. And when it clicks and when you're able to finally like best some of the beasts that you're fighting, it does feel pretty nice.
Is it like in the first Hollow Knight, to get the real ending, you had to do like this crazy boss rush arena sort of deal at the end?
Yeah.
Is it like that or is it different?
No, it's I would say a little bit more like narrative focused as far as like what it takes to get there and then what that part of the game takes to do. But like obviously you're still fighting bosses, but it's not just like I feel like the boss rush ended up feeling kind of like mechanical forward, where it's like I'm playing a Mega Man game right now rather than like Hollow Knight. That's not bad because again, that part of the game is designed for the people who are like, I'm ready to fight all these motherfuckers. But this one's more like it's very linked to the narrative of the game itself. So it's not like those two things are separate.
Cool.
So I'm feeling satisfied with that part of it. I've been trying to figure out the value of these kind of games now. I'm going to allude to another one, but probably not speak super lengthy about it, Hades 2, until later. And I'm just trying to suss out like how I feel about this game and Hades 2 and sort of games of that ilk where it's like, I am still having a phenomenal time with the sequel. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, it makes it quite challenging to discern whether or not like which one is like good or bad, or if it lives up to one or the other or anything like that. I feel like we had this problem on like the PlayStation 2, there were a lot of games that like the proof of concept was the first one, and then they kind of knocked it out of the park on the second one.
Yeah.
And then maybe like the third one was kind of what feels like the similar idea here, where it's like, it's still pretty good, but maybe not perfect, but also they're trying new shit. And like just that back and forth happens a lot in that era. I kind of think about like the Jack and Daxter stuff or Ratchet and Clank or even like Prince of Persia or something like that.
Yeah.
Even though all the first ones of those games are quite good, I think that they nailed what makes the series great in the sequels to most of those.
GTA,
yeah, exactly. And I'm feeling a sort of similar way right now where both Hades 2 and Silksong have come out, and they're not so dramatically different that my brain can sort of categorize them as totally different entities. You know, like it's not Eco to Shadow of the Colossus, where it's like just absolutely different games, despite the fact that they're like made by the same team, sort of kind of under a similar like artistic ethos or anything like that.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to discern really like where I land with a lot of the stuff. And I think part of the problem is the rush to want to define those things. Like Silksong is the best game ever, or it's the worst game ever, or it doesn't live up to the hype, or it's way better than the first one. And I'm already feeling the same way with Hades 2 of like, God, I really got to have like a solid opinion about this right now. And I feel like for games like this, it really demands distance from the series.
Yeah.
Brendan and Steven talk about this a lot on Into the Aether about like the series of games where it's like they were making sequels, and then just stopped out of nowhere. Like Castlevania is a good example where they were like making Dawn of Sorrow and Aria of Sorrow, and like they just kept coming out with these games over and over, and then just out of nowhere they're like, no, we're done. We're not making any more Castlevania games. At the very least, not the 2D ones.
Yeah.
And how strange it is to see in hindsight the reviews of those games that are all like, yeah, it's great, but it's kind of the same stuff, you know? Yeah, Aria of Sorrow is great, but then like, oh my God, all the stuff they were doing in like Order of Ecclesia is like really interesting and really cool. And it feels routine when you're playing it in the context of the moment. But in hindsight, it's like you can really see the differences and kind of like how it fits into the larger like timeline, I guess, of just games in general. And so I'm feeling that pressure of the moment to be like, I need to come down on this one way or another. But I think for my brain to like digest this properly, I might need some time, you know, like with this and Hades 2, it's like, I just don't know that I can really properly feel the game correctly or like appropriately.
Don't give into the hot take machine, Chase.
No, yeah, I think that's kind of the argument that I'm like boiling to is like, I think we can't really.
You're roiling right now. Now you're going to boil.
Yeah, I'm simmering, then I'm going to boil, and then I'm going to rolling boil, and then I'm going to have to blow on the water to kind of keep it from getting onto my my oven.
There you go.
But yeah, I feel like I just don't have the luxury of hindsight quite yet to really like feel out where it is, because I'm feeling the same way of like, I'm really enjoying Silksong right now. Like I really like it, and I think there's a lot of stuff that it's doing really great, and things that I can kind of point to more than I can with a lot of the kind of like sequels to big games like this that usually come around, which to me kind of feels like, okay, maybe this is something special unto itself. But even still, I'm a little bit like, oh boy, I don't know if I can really like say definitively that like this is the perfect sequel or anything like that, you know, or like it was worth the wait or for me, you know, anything like that.
Sure.
I'm having a great time, but part of me wants to like resist the urge to define definitively the artistic integrity of it like right now, you know.
Where does that urge come from?
I think it's just the internet and games media. Like, I think the need to have a review of the game up immediately when it releases is part of that. I think it is like the fact that games fall out of a conversation so quickly as like culturally that kind of leads to that feeling of like, you got to get it now sort of deal. Or like you got to feel what you're going to feel about it right now because next week we've got something else we need to move on to, you know?
There's a lot of good games coming out right now.
That's part of the problem too, is there are just an avalanche of video games right now.
Yeah.
And I think like, you know, my GOTY list will probably have some pretty notable absences of games that I'm just like, I just didn't get there, you know, like I'm playing all the things that I'm like so driven to play right now, but like there's plenty of stuff that I'm like, man, Silent Hill F, I really want to give a look at.
It's good.
Like, I've heard it's good.
I heard Ghost of Yotei is good.
Yes, same thing.
One of the things I heard about Ghost of Yeti is that they made more interesting side missions and cut down on like the checklist feeling of the open world, which was probably my biggest gripe with Ghost of Tsushima. So I'm like, you might have got me back. Who knows?
Oh no, they made it like Elden Ring. What a problem I have.
I know, what a problem I have. Another good game to play. I haven't even touched Donkey Kong Bonanza yet.
Oh man, yeah, sure.
I know.
Enough.
We have an embarrassment of riches as gamers right now. Gamers are eating good right now, man.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I'm really want to I'm determined to not leave every indie game behind at the cost of all these gigantic games.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot to keep up with. I think we as an industry should just agree you have at least a few mulligans on your GOTY list.
Yeah.
That like this year especially, like just you can take a mulligan and redo it like in a couple of years here if you need to.
Yeah.
I saw someone say like the combat in Silent Hill F is shitty, therefore it's one of the best Silent Hill games in a long time.
They don't want good feeling combat. They want it to feel like I'm struggling. I'm just I'm an average Joe who hasn't touched like a weight in years.
Yes.
I appreciate. I get it. I fucking get that.
I also get it. Like 1 and 2 and even 3. Yeah, like it feels bad to fight in a way that I'm like this feels appropriate to a person who just like showed up in a haunted town. Would be like, I guess I'm gonna use a board as my combat weapon.
It feels like being in a dream where you're like trying to fight and your body just feels like 1,000 pounds. You know what I'm talking about?
I absolutely do. I had a technological version of that dream yesterday where I was attempting to make a phone call and I knew the number. I was trying to call my wife and I was typing in her number in the dream. In my brain, I was saying the number out loud, and every time I typed it in, it wasn't showing up correctly. And I think partially, like I've heard that it's hard for your brain to represent like numbers and letters very well, like in a dream. Like you can't always like discern like, yes, this is the correct sequence of numbers.
Yeah.
And so whenever I looked at it, I'm like, dude, that's not it at all. And essentially was trying to fight my cell phone, trying to put in the series of numbers.
I'm trying to throw hands with my cell phone right now.
I don't know if that was actually an interesting story, but that's the one I had to tell.
I was into it. I liked it.
All right, cool.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, great. Anyway, that's my Silksong box. That's all I had. So
thanks.
You can tell me what else you're playing.
I've really only touched a couple other games this week. I don't think I have played enough of either of these games to really have a take on them yet, or like a feel, because they've just kind of been like palate cleansers after Silksong, or like if it gets so late in the evening where I'm like, my brain can't Silksong anymore, I must do something a little bit easier.
Yeah.
A good salve to Silksong right now has been Octopath Traveler 2.
Ooh, yeah, sure enough.
I'm still meandering my way through that game. It still continues to call back to me. I just meant Temenos, yeah. Temenos? So I'm doing his story now. Yeah, he's a little cleric boy. See what's good with him. I think I'll do Oswald after.
Ooh,
and then
man.
I think right now I just want to collect all the heroes. Got to get all my Pokemons.
I agree.
And then go from there.
It does make it quite a bit like better to have the whole party, I feel.
Yeah. Although I'm still the most engaged with Partitio's story, because right now where I left him is he wants to buy like the patent rights to a steam engine for $80 billion or something ridiculous like that.
The owner was like, I'll sell it to you for $1 trillion. And Partitio's like, deal.
I bet.
It's like, what? You can't do that. And he's like, I just have to come up with $1 billion.
And then like the newspaper snapshot of him, and it's just like, vagabond merchant Partitio throws gauntlet at the rich elite. And I'm just like, this is incredible.
So
and the
funny.
saxophone music's just going in the background.
So funny.
I'm like, are they self-aware at how absurd this is, but also kind of like how dope it is at the same time? It strikes a very interesting chord as far as vibes go. This game does, but it's still a very fun game.
Even Temenos, I thought, was a pretty interesting story of being like a priest, but like a little crooked too, which I really appreciate. That he's like not really afraid to get his hands dirty in a way that like I found like, oh, that's an interesting character that I'm not really sure that I've seen before. Because usually the priest person is always like, I am morally righteous, or like I am so morally corrupt that like I'm just the bad guy at that point, rather than like, I think I'm still a good guy, but like also I'm not like a saint for lack of a better word, you know?
Yeah.
Oswald is also such a treat. He is like,
I've heard people say they like Oswald.
Yeah, he's like just so serious in a way that comes off as almost campy. He's a real joy. I really liked playing through his story.
Also, just real quick, the music is still so good, and the visuals are still just so amazing. I know we've said it a million times, but man, every time I pop back into it, I'm like, wow, this is good shit. This is good shit.
Yeah. Do you know if it got like any sort of update for Switch 2?
I was just checking that. I had to download something to start playing it on my Switch 2. I have a game cart for it, so I don't know. But then I just asked Google, and it said no, that there's not.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything if there was.
Yeah, I don't think
sort
so.
Of update. Yeah,
maybe it just runs
they
smoother.
Because like the one for Dragon Quest 3 like really made it like visually very stunning.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they did.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I'm sure they're busy with fucking
counting
Elliot
their money
and Octopath Zero. Yeah.
There were the Adventures of Eli. Is that what it was?
Elliot. Yeah.
Elliot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll touch Elliot.
I'm very excited for Elliot. I'm that is weirdly a
real Elliot head over here.
Oh yeah, I'm like very optimistic about that. It looks really good.
When's it come out?
I think next year, mercifully.
Next year, yeah, thankfully. Oh, and then Alan Wake 2 is coming out on PlayStation Plus games. I've never played that one. And Unicorn, no, I haven't played it. And then Unicorn Overlord is on PlayStation Plus right now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I want to touch that. Oh man, there's
shit, man.
It's just like you're gonna make me have to quit my job for like a couple months to get through my backlog at this point. I just don't have the time. Video game industry, for the love of God, have mercy on my soul. Anyways, I've been playing that Octopath Traveler 2. Still a banger, still great. Just a fun, good vibes game. I don't have to be like super engaged, like memorizing an attack pattern like in Silksong, which is great. I also tried Cult of the Lamb.
Oh, okay, nice. Had you not played this before?
I had not played this. I had downloaded it a while ago.
Yeah.
Same thing, PlayStation Plus, it's on there. And I really had no idea what it was. A game that also has a very striking and cool visual style. Like almost, I don't know if this is correct at all, but like kind of gives me alien hominid vibes and just like how people move. Yeah. Maybe not how they look, but like the motion of the game gives me hominid vibes. But yeah, it's fun so far. I didn't know it was going to be like a Hades-like sort of experience. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's just so hard for any action roguelike in my eyes after Hades, because like I'm just going to compare you to Hades the whole time. And I don't know if it's there quite yet. But so far it's fun. It's very striking visually. I'm interested and I'm still chugging through it, but I wouldn't say I've played probably this one the least out of any game I played this week. So I don't really have much in the way of an opinion on it yet, but I have been dipping my toes in. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. That's cool. I enjoyed that game. I don't think I beat it, but I played a fair amount of it. I was tempted recently to get back into it. I think just like I saw that there was a bunch of DLC and like was kind of just interested in where the game is at now, because I'm pretty sure they've made a fair few updates.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I might jump back in there as well, especially now if it's on the PlayStation Plus sort of deal right now.
It's always good.
It's always good.
It's always good. That's everything I've been playing, Chase. What have you been playing?
Got a couple things. We already talked about Silksong, so I'll skip over that one. I also just like I will say for the moment, Hades 2 came out today as we're recording, so like
that's wild.
I've played a fair bit of it. I don't think it is not so dramatically different from the beta that I'm like, this is a totally different thing now. But I'm enjoying it, I would say, at least as much as the beta. So I suspect that I will need many hours to suss out, like, is it at least as good as that? How am I feeling about it compared to the first one? I've seen a lot of reviews of it, and it kind of goes back to the conversation we were having earlier about just like needing to have an opinion on it right now. And I don't know that I do with any more complicated feelings than like I'm having a good time playing more Hades, you know?
Yeah, I think the best answer to this question of like comparing it to something else is just to not. It's just to enjoy it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I
resist
agree.
the urge to compare it to what came before.
Yeah.
Just be like, this is Hades 2, but it's its own game. How am I enjoying this?
Yeah, I very much agree with you. I think too, something that like complicates a little bit of my feeling towards it is just that like part of when I am assessing a game, part of that experience is trying to suss out like how much of this is novel. Where's the novelty in this experience? Mm-hmm. And with a game like Hades 1, the novelty was very high. Like I hadn't really played a game like that before. Mm-hmm. And with Hades 2 or Silksong 2, I have played a game like that before. It's Hollow Knight and Hades 1. Mm-hmm. You know, so like it's not that I'm comparing it directly, but just like I have to see the sort of like Venn diagram of like what is this game bringing specifically that like maybe wasn't in the first one, or what is new, what is the kind of twists and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know which one is more inventive right now. I don't know if it's Silksong or Hades 2. I'm just comparing them because they are both like sequels to mega hits that have come out in the last 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think for Hades specifically, I think it sometimes benefits from just doing more Hades because like the combat is already so bulletproof that like if you just give me more story and characters, like that already feels like, wow, all right, now we're in a whole new world. You know?
Yeah, sure.
And it does do that. Like there is very much a different cast of characters, and it's sort of unclear initially how long it has been since the first one, or at least I haven't picked up on those details if they are telling me. Mm-hmm. And so part of the fun is just like, what happened? And like, where is everybody? And because there are very few recurring characters in the second one. Like you see some familiar faces for sure, but like Hypnos is in the place that's kind of your home base, and he's just permanently asleep right now. Like, can't talk to the fella, you know,
his poor VA.
I am so certain he will wake up at some point, but like right now he's just, you know, snoring and sleeping. Snorping. Yeah. My favorite pastime as a new dad is snorping.
Oh, can you define snorping?
Sleeping, snoring. Yeah.
Okay. Sleeping, snoring.
Yeah. Easy.
Do you find yourself snoring more as a dad?
I snore more when I'm very tired. When my body is just like gasping, like, please give me more oxygen. I need to heal this body quicker. And so, yes, I do find myself snoring more when I'm much more tired.
This boy be snorping over here.
This boy is snorping. I agree. But yeah, so like the story half of it, I am enjoying just because it is still very novel. And like, I don't necessarily need it to be so dramatically mechanically different, but I do hope, and I don't know this from the beta, I didn't get far enough to really know where they were going, but my hope is that they're tackling something a little bit different narratively, rather than just like, man, doesn't my dad suck? And like,
sure,
my family, aren't they all fucked up? Like, I'm sure that they will touch on part of that as like a baseline, but I would hope that there is some other take in there, you know?
Well, didn't you say that the main character in this one plays pretty differently than Zagreus did?
Very, yeah. Mechanically, she plays very different. Melanoe is the character that you're playing as. And she feels initially like she shouldn't. Like, you're going to get in there and be like, okay, dash is the same button and a hit is the same button and your special move is the same button and everything. But like, at least with the first weapon that they give you, I think they end up wanting you to play a little bit more like either hit and run or keep like a safe distance between you and the other people. It feels like playing a gauntlet game, like you were playing the warrior in the first Hades. You were just playing the gauntlet character where you're supposed to get up in the shit. And in this one, you were playing the magician where you're supposed to like throw shit at the other people.
Okay.
And of course, that's not true across the board because there was like a gun in the first one, and Melanoe has like swords as some of her weapons.
They did put a gun in the first one.
There was a gun.
There was a gun. There was a rifle, a grenade launcher.
They gave Zagreus a Glock in the first one. He just had to shoot his way out of hell.
Max Payne came over and said, "Try this one, son."
The Doomslayer showed up and he's like, "I've got a great way for you to fight through hell."
Okay. Hades times Doom crossover would be pretty cool, though.
I'm cool with this. I don't hate that.
I'd be okay with it.
But anyway, regardless, it came out today. I don't have a take on this yet. I'm having a good time. It's more Hades. It's fun. I am so certain that if you are a fan of Hades, you are either definitely playing it by now or definitely not. you know, like I doubt any of this is new information. So I'm just going to hold off on really like giving any sort of opinions about it until I'm much farther into the game.
Sure.
So yeah, there's that.
Oh yeah.
The two games that I do kind of want to talk about a little bit more.
Yeah.
Let me start with this one called DeltaRune, David.
Whoa. Okay. That's the sequel to the cow mommy game.
The cow mommy game.
Yeah.
Undertale.
Yeah.
You said the words cow mommy and I was like, is that a visual novel that I'm not quite aware of, David?
You remember?
Yes, your mom is kind of a cow.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. She's got horns and stuff. It's not necessarily a sequel. It's not like in the same continuum, but it's sort of like a lot of familiar faces will show up, but it's not necessarily like this is the same universe.
Yeah, I had played DeltaRune Chapter 1 because that was out after I had beat Undertale. And I said, let me check, let me touch. So now the whole thing's out, correct?
No.
No.
More of it is out, but not the whole thing.
Okay.
I haven't played all of what's out right now, but I'm pretty sure Toby Fox has released everything up through, I think, Chapter 4, maybe 5. And it had gotten released like as sort of a package deal on Switch too. And like, all right, like this feels like substantial enough that I can get in there. And yeah, I was like, I was a very big Undertale fan. I don't think if you are comparing the Overton window of Undertale fans, I'm probably somewhere towards the middle. But like my own appreciation of video games, I'm like, yeah, I love that game. That was really, really good.
Overton window.
Like people love Undertale.
Yes.
And so if you're comparing where I am on the scale of loving Undertale compared to the people who are like obsessed with it, I'm not there.
No.
But I think it's a phenomenal game and I think informs games at large at this point. And so I'm always like, it's fucking great. It was really good. And so I was like pretty much on site with whatever Toby Fox, the developer of DeltaRune, publisher, sort of like designer, writer, composer, everything, whatever he was doing after that. And yeah, so I was like very interested in DeltaRune, but I was also very much holding off on playing it until there was a little bit more of it out. I'm not going to say a hater, but when games release in episodes like this, I'm always like, I should just wait. I should just wait until it's fully out, you know? I feel like my first brush with that was when we were playing the Walking Dead Telltale games and we got to the end of like that first chapter and I was like, oh man, do I need more of this like immediately?
Yeah.
And there is not any more of it.
Yeah.
I was not quite as interested in the episodic structure of like the games. I just kind of feel like my own momentum is hard to maintain over that long of time between releases. Like the first chapter of this came out in 2018 and then chapter 2 came out in 2021. So 3 years between those. And then chapter 3 and 4 came out in 2025. So 4 years between those. And so like, that's just a long time for me to like hold in my brain all these characters, you know? I sort of have trouble reading manga that isn't finished for the same reason because I'm like, I could read this weekly, but every now and then I'll do one of those and I'll be like, where were we last week? I don't even remember.
Yeah.
And so I just sort of had it was challenging for me to approach that in the first place. But because there's 4 chapters out at this point, I'm like, okay, I can at least get through those. And then maybe I can wait until like they're done with, chapter 5 and 6, which is what I think Toby Fox has said. There will be that many of them. So what the fuck is DeltaRune? DeltaRune is a RPG in, the kind of Undertale style, but I would say it is much like chunkier as an RPG than Undertale ever was.
Oh, sure.
It was very much more like, okay, you have a party and attacks and like spells essentially, whereas like Undertale was almost essentially just the like heart mini game, and without, if you haven't played Undertale, I don't want to ruin it at all, but like without getting super deep into the details, I think part of the draw of that was the narrative that they were telling and like how they were telling it and how you as the player influenced that narrative.
Yeah.
And that was sort of the thing I was coming into DeltaRune questioning the most of like, where are we going to go with that? Because I think that's an incredibly hard act to follow. And it's also a trick, not even necessarily a trick, but like, I think a feat that you can only pull off once as a developer to like kind of lull your audience into, I wouldn't say a false sense of security, but like when you're playing Undertale for the first time, I think it has benefited from you not necessarily scrutinizing every inch of the game. Like you're kind of just supposed to be like, it's a video game and like play it as a video game.
You're supposed to take it as face value.
Right. And I think that once you either play it once or you like understand what's happening, you as the player are like, oh God, the assumptions I brought into this are maybe a little bit troubling. Like that's part of the experience.
Yes.
And so going into DeltaRune, I was like, I don't know if Toby Fox can necessarily do that again. So like, what is the thing that we will be doing here? And I think that there are potentially a few answers. One is that like the characters are way more fleshed out in this game. Like you essentially create a character in the beginning, you give them a name, and then the game is like, nah, you can't pick who you are in this world. And you change into just a person named Chris, which is just like so funny to me.
Classic.
Extremely funny. Yeah, I really like that decision. But you were also hanging out with initially, essentially your bully. Her name is Susie. And you're going like... You were going to what is like, I guess, school or something, but part of the pitch of the game is that you are like pulled into this like alternate world is what it feels like. And these worlds all have these like themes or like overall design ideas that they roll with whenever you get pulled into one, which feels a persona of them, which I really like. I think that's very fun whenever a game can do that. Psychonauts. Yeah, exactly. Same deal. And the game in the very beginning is like your decisions don't matter in this world, and like there will be no different endings and stuff like that. And I think that it works on both ends of like, if you're a new player to DeltaRune, you will just kind of hear that and be like, okay, like I see what you're saying. But for the people who have played the first one and know that there are many choices you can make in Undertale, or, you know, a constant choice that you either have to uphold or not, then it's an interesting phrase, because you're like, for me at least, I was like, I don't know if I trust you, Toby. I don't know if I trust you saying that. Like, because
I got trust issues now, Toby.
Yeah, because like the whole deal was that I came with an assumption, and like I think the idea could be for this whole series, and I don't know this to be clear, like I don't know the answer to this, but the whole idea could be that you were told by an authority figure your decisions don't matter, and you took that at face value. You said, okay, you know? Or is the idea that you heard it and said, I'm gonna figure out another way, you know? Again, without ruining really anything, a lot of the ideas in Undertale is like, do you choose to engage with the violent mechanics that you can engage with at any point? And like, to what degree do you do that? Yeah. And so like in this game for a while, I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can fight stuff, you know? And
do I kill this thing? Do I do it?
Yes. And so like I was very cautious when I was playing through it for the first like, you know, little while. And mercifully at some point they do show that like the enemies run when they lose. And also there's a moment where it's like, if you beat enough of them, they will go to this like part of town. And I was able to be like, okay, I think I trust a little bit more now that like, I'm not just killing these people or whatever.
They go to this part of town where they're in therapy for being beaten up by Chris.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But being destroyed by the protagonist. And so like, I think either choice there would be an interesting way to like figure out a narrative, or like to present a narrative rather, where if it is about being told that you don't have a choice and either rejecting or accepting that, both of those are interesting. Or if you truly don't have a choice and you're constantly trying to like push against that, that's also interesting to me, because that's also like antithetical to Undertale. But I think also the thing that they are really bringing that is almost like supplanting my interest in the mechanical stuff is that the characters are just much better. Like Chris is more interesting. Susie is more interesting. I don't necessarily want to give away the rest of it. There's another, like a third character in your party, and Susie also kind of makes friends with like, it's not Sans, but it is kind of Sans, like a stand-in.
I think it's better than Cow Mommy.
I think your mom is actually Cow Mom.
She's back
in the game. She is back. That's the thing, is like there are a bunch of characters that are recurring, you know,
gotcha.
Like I think Toby Fox has described this as like a parallel story. Like it's similar people just playing out different things.
Okay.
And so I do think the focus on characters like way more interesting here, because I think in Undertale, it felt like they were presenting, albeit very rounded and cool characters for the purpose of the player being like, well, is Sans' brother all that bad? Like he wants to be a supervillain, but he's inept and also just kind of wants like a friend, you know, like that's really what's going on here. So like, do I need to like beat him? I don't know if I do. You know, like, could I just make friends with him?
Make more than friends?
Make more than friends. That is true. You can go on a date. But with this one, it feels much more like there is a defined narrative that Toby Fox is trying to tell. And so I am very interested in where that goes and how that goes. And we won't know for a while because like chapter 5 and 6 are not coming out for a little bit. So I don't really know. Toby Fox has described the scope of this game as about 2.5 Undertales, which is a fair bit longer than the first game was. And I think he'd also said that like he had the idea for this game's ending long before he had built Undertale. And for a moment when I read that, my like Nomura Kingdom Hearts 3 hackles went up for a second. And I was like, oh God, please be careful with the things you're invoking right now.
Sure.
Because like I've been Kingdom Hearts has just kind of been on my mind, 3 specifically recently, and I've been trying to like figure out like what happened, Nomura. And so far as I can really surmise, like part of it was like the Disney influence, but like he was also in charge of Final Fantasy 15, and that one kind of feels like a similar problem is happening in it. And like from the outside looking in, part of me is like, I wonder if he just got too big. Like if the restraint of like, we only have this much PlayStation 2 to deal with was helpful, you know, like that level of restraint for Nomura was helpful. Cause like I've definitely had artistic experiences where like restraint made me more creative and like made me make interesting decisions. And I see that with Undertale, like a lot, right? Like the art is very simplistic and the like game engine feels very simplistic, but it seems like the decisions that came out of that were fascinating. And part of my fear is that like, if given way more leeway, then suddenly like some of the magic comes out of the sails of something like this. I don't think that that's like as true here. And like, admittedly, DeltaRune is already worlds better than Kingdom Hearts 3 is, unfortunately. Yeah. It's like just a better experience if we're comparing apples to apples. And I would say a better follow-up, you know, like Kingdom Hearts 2, a legendary video game, Undertale at this point, a legendary video game, and like Kingdom Hearts 3, not so good. And like,
did you play all the way to the end?
I didn't. So like, I would say there is I will use your words, David. There is a great game buried under an okay
there
one.
Sure is. You gotta get all the way at the end before you come out with hot takes like this, Chase.
I'm saying that
the hot take machine is out. The internet has taken over your brain.
It's true, yeah. Silksong is the worst fucking video game I've ever played.
It's too fucking hard.
Sucks, man. It's terrible.
It's bad.
It's not even running at 120 frames a second, bro.
God.
But DeltaRune, I think, is better immediately. Like, I immediately was enjoying DeltaRune. I'm like, this is great. This is very good.
That is a fair critique.
It's also like the stuff that I liked about Undertale is in there very quickly. Like the music is phenomenal. The writing is funny immediately. Susie is like a very intimidating character initially, and I was just immediately like, where are we going with this one? And I will say I love the arc of all of that. But yeah, so I was just like, I was very enthused about where they're going with it. So I haven't gotten through all 4 chapters, but I'm immensely enjoying where it is right now. And I am very interested in the answer to that question of, do my decisions actually matter or don't they, Toby? And what does it mean for me to accept or deny that answer?
Couldn't name your character.
Couldn't name a character. Tried to, I think is the interesting thing too. They're like made an attempt to change it. I guess another alternative would be what does it mean for you to know that your choices won't matter and still attempt to do one, you know, like, and then for them to actually not matter is also interesting too. Like, what do your choices amount to at the end of it if all you're going to do is perish, you know? Yeah. Interesting stuff. Could be good.
Could be good.
But again, unfortunately, my brain is just like, and I'll have to wait until 2028 to find out.
Oh, is it really? That's when the rest of it's going to come out?
I mean, like, based upon the clip which they're releasing, I wouldn't be surprised. Because, like, again, there is a...
Are they the George R.R. Martin of video game developers now?
It's 2018 for chapter 1, 2021 for chapter 2. 2025 for chapter 3 and 4. Yeah, it's wild. Anyway, that's sort of my experience right now with DeltaRune. I think that there's a lot more to say with this as far as specifics, but like, I don't want to go full blown and just like blow it for anybody who hasn't played it. But I'm enjoying it. It's a good video game.
Cool.
The other game that I've been playing, David.
Yes. Kingdom Hearts 3, probably, right?
Kingdom Hearts 3. the third. Sora's in this one, and Donald, and also Goofy.
Hey, you're not going to be ready for Kingdom Hearts 4 when it comes out.
I'm pretty close to beating that game, I think. Like, I got through most of the Disney worlds, and I stopped what I'm assuming is like right when it gets good. So whenever we do our bonus for that specific game, I'll finish it out.
Okay.
But the other game that I've been playing in the meantime, David, is Trails in the Sky, first chapter.
Yeah, what is this? I know you're a big Trails head now.
Sort of. I wouldn't give myself that name yet because there are much larger fans of this series than I am.
You're a Trails enjoyer.
I'm a casual Trails enjoyer. Yeah, I'd say that's probably true right now. So, Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky is a game that came out quite a while ago now, in like 2011 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I played that fairly recently. The podcast Trails Through Trails, the Legend of Podcasting Trails Through Trails with Lex and Matt. They had started a podcast and they're like, hey, we're playing through all these games and we're starting with the first one. I was like, that's a perfect time for me to jump in because like I have had a passing admiration for this from people whose opinion I trust that like, hey, this is good and you should probably enjoy it. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then eventually we'll get to it. But that was just like the push I needed to start playing it, and played through it. And I did enjoy it. It was quite good. Mm-hmm. And I think coming away from playing the original version, I was like, the things that they are relying on for enjoyment are like a strong sense of place. I think that there is a strong sense of character, and they want you to be endeared to both of those like a lot.
Sure.
And I think I had mentioned this, but like my broken Final Fantasy A plot version of my brain, my understanding of games was like, bro, where's all the big bad guys? And Trails does not offer that very quickly. Mm-hmm. It eventually does. And I think like at the very end of that game is like, okay, here we are. You know, like here's the kind of big overarching plot that we're going to deal with in the next, what would be 2 other games just with these 2 characters, Estelle and Joshua. Mm-hmm. And the series itself is like 15 other video games.
Wow.
So like there's plenty of stuff to do.
Yeah.
But I think like initially my take while playing it was like, man, this is a slow video game. And that is partially true, but I think that they are doing exactly what they want to, and they're taking their damn sweet time to do it. And so like you will get many, many hours of Estelle and Joshua just like doing side quests for people, you know? For anybody who hasn't played these games, you play as like 2 young, what are called bracers. And bracers are kind of like community advocates almost, community warriors who like will just like do side quests for people.
Community warriors is a strong term.
Pretty fun, right? Yeah. I mean, that's essentially what they're doing, because you'll get like these jobs on this like board posting in the Bracer Guild Hall where it's like, hey, my cat's lost. Can you help me? Or like, there's a big scary monster outside of town. Can someone fix that? I can't get to the other towns because the road is too fucked up. Mm-hmm. So like you're doing either one. And in every case in these games, it's intended to just make you feel like, wow, this is a real place and there are real people that live here. And that effort is like great in that first game. And I've said this before with Yakuza and more recently with the Dragon Quest XI games, where it's like the first act of Dragon Quest XI is like, you get some conflict, but it's much more like, don't you love this world? Don't you feel just like how fucking sick it is to be here and how beautiful it is?
Yeah.
So that when things turn in Act 2, it's like, oh no, I loved that place.
Sure.
Like what happened?
Yeah.
That's terrible. And you feel like very defensive and want to like save this world. I think plenty of games do it in exactly the opposite order, and it doesn't work as well. Of like, there's a cataclysmic event in the beginning of a video game or a movie, and you're like, I don't know this place. I don't know these people. Like, what are my stakes? You know?
Yeah. They're using Cataclysm to grab you.
Right, like the spectacle of it. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. But I think it also it makes something like Breath of the Wild very interesting, because you kind of get both. You're thrown into this like world that you don't know why things happen, but then eventually find out like, oh, I do have memories of pre-apocalypse. And so like you're able to kind of suss both those out. But with Trails, it's much more direct. And it's not like there's an apocalypse here. It's up to the point that I've played. I don't know. There's like a million other games, so who knows what the fuck happens in those. But for the ones that I've played, like the world hasn't ended. It's more so just that you start to get like, oh, here's like villainous people and bad things happening. Because for a lot of it, it's just like, I don't know, dad's missing. Let's go find dad. That's what's going on. Anyway, long story short, I really liked that game. I enjoyed it a lot. And just recently they put out Trails in the Sky First, which is a remake of that game. And like from the ground up remake. They have totally changed the graphical style, the battle system. It's fully voice acted. It's just a different game, but the things that they have kept the same are like the story, the beats, the towns, the characters. Like all of that is very much in place. It's essentially just
like by Dre.
They kept the Beats by Dre, just their sick ass headphones. Unfortunately, you do have to memorize marketing terms and repeat them back to the reporters that you're talking to.
I'm down already. I'm good.
Man, 2K, what have you done?
How the mighty have fallen.
But so yeah, I was just interested in like, what are the differences? How is this game different than the first one? And if you're looking at something like Final Fantasy VII Remake, very different situation. Like that game changes almost everything about Final Fantasy, other than the fact that like Cloud exists and Sephiroth exists and Aerith exists. And there are some beats that are like, okay, here's the part where Cloud falls into the church and meets Aerith and shit like that. But like the overall experience is very different. Whereas with Trails, it's like the combat system is remarkably different. And like the view on the world is very different. Like you're down on the ground with Estelle and Joshua rather than like this isometric view that you've got in the original ones. But like the beats are identical and like the story is identical. And like, so far as I can tell, most of the side quests are exactly the same as they were in the first one. And partially because it's like, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, like that stuff I think works great. It worked great in the first one. So like, why change it? It's also like quite an undertaking to make one of these. So like, I don't blame them for not changing that stuff.
Yeah.
But I will say, I feel like kind of a dingus for saying this.
No, I'm so excited to hear what you're about to say.
I really like this one more than the original.
Oh, that's dingus language.
For dingus reasons.
Oh, okay.
I like to hear people say the words rather than to read the words, David. And
you're trying to
for
be
the
spoon-fed.
I kind of like to be a little spoon-fed sometimes. This is the same reason that I enjoyed Baldur's Gate 3 immensely more than I enjoyed Divinity Original Sin 2, because I can see the motherfuckers. Because I can get, the camera goes down right next to their head. I can see that cranium and see what's going on the foot level.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which like, I just feel like it's such like I should be able to enjoy both equally, but I like this more. I think it's just more, it's easier to engage with me, where like every now and then in the original game, I would find myself just blowing through dialogue and being like, wait, I didn't read any of that. I need to go back and figure out what they just said.
Sure.
Whereas this one, it's like much easier for me to like just lock into what's happening. I think that they have like everybody in the voice cast to me is doing a great job. It's a little anime tropey. So like you get some screeching anime people every now and then. And like Estelle's voice is Estelle's voice is a fair bit higher than I was expecting it to be, but like I think part of that is like just the first couple of minutes they're really putting it on, and then it chills out a little bit. So it's not quite as rough. Also, just like Estelle's kind of the louder of the two, and Joshua's a little bit more reserved, so it's not like the whole cast are just screaming at you the whole time.
Yeah.
But so like, you know, tropes aside, like I do just enjoy the fact that there is a much higher level of polish on the acting itself. The combat is so good. I was not expecting this part of it. I didn't read very much about it. I was just kind of like, it got good reviews. I'm going to check it out anyway.
I didn't read very much. They didn't read it to you. That's why, probably.
I didn't read at all. I don't like reading.
This is an anti-literacy podcast now.
I'm unlearning reading. I'm actively trying to make it so I can't read anymore.
Unlearn reading. I'm going to learn opposite reading, which is how to be willfully ignorant.
I just can't see anything. I look at words and nothing happens in my brain. But the combat is really, really good. The first one was entirely turn-based, and it had like interesting ideas with like the positioning on the battlefield. Like you had to move a little bit, and it almost felt a little bit more tacticsy. But with this one, it has this bizarre and also incredible combination of real-time combat with turn-based tactics.
Ooh,
where
that's cool.
You can see monsters on the field, and if you want to, you can. You love to see. You can run up and hit them and start doing like what feels like Dynasty Warriors combat for a little while, where you're just like Dynasty beating them up. I love Dynasty Warriors, and if at any point you like stun them, or you're like, I think it would be a good opportunity to use some of my more like in-depth abilities, you can just hit a button, and right where everybody's standing, it turns into turn-based combat, and so everything stops, and then it's like, okay, now you can choose like, do you want to use your magic? Do you want to use your like more complicated
a little Fantasio-esque.
Yes, I was going to say like Metaphor kind of did this a little bit, but it feels a little bit more in depth
than Metaphor, yeah.
Yeah, like the like button mashy combat is not particularly complicated, but it's more of a decision of like, are these enemies tough enough that I would want to engage with turn-based? Should I pick off the weak ones in the real-time combat and then fight the bigger guy, or do I want to like try to stun them all at the same time and then go into turn-based combat, because that will help a lot. And yeah, so that just there are a lot of considerations there that like just make it such a fun experience. So love the combat. I like really am enjoying that.
Nice.
They also like, man, I wish this wasn't a thing I enjoyed. They got like super turbo speed mode.
You have a lot of guilty pleasures about this game.
I think partially I do. It's just like,
do you feel like a naughty boy playing it?
They're appealing to they're appealing to the nastiest of my indulgences. And super turbo mode is one of them, where it's like, I wish I could just play this game a lot faster. Not because I'm not enjoying it, but just like I want the pace of it to be quicker. And like you can just at any point hold the right, I think, trigger button and hit the left trigger button, and everything goes faster. Just the entire game is moving quicker. And so like you can get through dialogue real quick. The battles go like insanely fast.
Wow.
And I like that a lot.
Is this the video game equivalent for you of having a burger and 2 beers?
It kind of feels that way. It's a little indulgent, you know? Yeah. So I'm enjoying that a lot. It's
nice.
It's a big deal for me. Anyway, so like maybe put a little bit shorter, the things that make Trails great are still here. And for me, they're more obvious just because like the dialogue is easier for me to engage with.
Sure.
And the side quests have fucking markers on the map, so I don't have to just like do the...
That's a win.
Man, I understand why games do it. And like, I also totally understand when they don't, you know, like sometimes it's a very intentional choice to not put map markers in the game. But when it's like this kind of older school RPG idea where it's like, yeah, we told you some stuff about where they are, but you're just supposed to run into every room and try and find who we're looking for. That's not always that enjoyable to me. Sometimes I just wish they would tell me where the motherfucker lived and I could go just talk to him, you know? Or like, I see a lot of games do this too, where it's like, if they want it to be ambiguous about where you're supposed to go, just put like a little zone marker on the map and be like, you got to go find it. Great. I'm okay with that. I'm cool with that. But yeah, just having like map markers is dramatic. Having a map in general for like the dungeons and stuff like that. I don't think that they have a overall map in the first one, but like in dungeons, I don't think you have maps in there, at least not from what I remember. And like they sure do in this one. It's much easier to navigate. I can figure it out. I know where to go. So all of that's great. I like it. I'm having kind of a remarkably good time with this. The farther I get into it, it's just like, I think partially it's that like the game didn't put its best foot forward. I think the first like 30 minutes are kind of for Trails sickos. And they're like, look, we got you. We're doing this for you. Whereas like, I think the rest of the game is for everyone else, including the Trails sickos. But just like the farther I get into it, the more I'm like, oh, this is really charming and really fun. And like, it's very funny when they do like very anime shit where like the normal character model is walking around and then something surprising happens and their eyes turn like completely into these like big white dots and they're like, what's happening? Like that kind of stylistic choice, like that stuff is really good and like makes for a very textured experience to me.
Texture.
That I don't really find everywhere else. So like, I kind of continually am like, oh man, this is a really good game. The farther and farther I get into it, it's also just like beautiful. It is a like really good looking video game as far as like the style, the artistic style of everything. It's like, again, it's a very anime game, but like, man, do they make that look good. Just a beautiful experience. And I think that's part of it is this game is supposed to be idyllic in a lot of ways. And they are really communicating that very well. Again, if you're allergic to anime tropes, like there's a character whose outfit is like fine, but also she has like a lot of room to see the between her boobs, you know, like that's in there. And like gotta have it. And I don't want to reveal too much more at a risk of giving away some of the story, but like
that's part of the story.
That part is not, but there's like other stuff that feels very like, okay, yeah, this was not made by a Western
this
developer.
This is important to the story.
And this is incredibly important. So shouts out to Scheherazade.
Charizard?
That was also my thought. I listened to Trails Through Trails describing this character for a long time, and I thought her name was Scheherazade, but I think that was just Matt's Australian accent confusing me about what her actual name was, because all the characters in the game they call her Scheherazade. So I'm like, oh, I think I was just reading that incorrectly.
Scheherazade.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's incredible. Well, Scheherazade is like a Middle Eastern person, like a figure in history.
Sure. Yeah.
Supposedly. I just looked it up.
Wow. Yeah. Shout out to her.
But Charizard is a lot more fun to say.
Yeah. Anyway, point being, also for anybody who is like interested in this series, I implore you, don't Google these characters, because there are so many games and so many like reveals and character like arcs and shit like that the wiki for these characters is going to blow it for you. So please don't Google them.
Gotcha.
If you have any intent on playing them. If you don't, who gives a shit? And you can check it out. But anyway, I'm like really, really enjoying this way more than I thought I would. And especially after having just played this game in another form, you know, like I like truly within the last 6 months played this exact experience, but in just like a different format, I guess. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. I think that it is the remake emphasizes the original design in a way that I think really benefits the game. Like it's kind of putting up their best points, you know, like the highlights of this game are really well emphasized by what the remake is doing. So I'm kind of blown away by it. It's really, really enjoyable.
Hell yeah. Love it.
Anyway, David, this will bring me to my Podtimistic thing of the week.
Which is?
It's turbo fast mode, David.
I know you love it. Blast through.
I want more games to have turbo fast mode. Like, not that it's not hard to develop.
Like Sekiro,
but
turbo fast mode?
Please no. Sekiro's too fast already. It is such a fast video game. But like every Pokemon game needs this. Every single one needs it.
When I played Pokemon Red on an emulator in college and I could overclock, oh my God.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah, no, it's the same deal.
Incredible.
Any emulation experience is always just like, oh, this is pretty fun, isn't it? It's much easier to engage with.
Yep.
I think it benefits RPGs the most, where like you are doing kind of repetitive fights with regularity. And I think a nihilistic interpretation or maybe pessimistic interpretation is like the combat doesn't matter. And I see that argument, but I also still enjoy the combat, you know, like I still enjoy it even if it isn't always wildly complicated, but I would like it to go quick, you know, like it's the equivalent of like, I don't want Kratos's like chain blades to take a day and a half to swing. Like, yeah. Just because I'm button mashing doesn't mean that I'm not enjoying it necessarily.
Sure. Yeah.
And so like, I kind of enjoy when a game is like, yeah, fuck it. Just make it go as fast as you want. Remarkably too, you can turn it up. There are faster versions in the game if you want it. Like the combat can go even faster than it does.
Love it.
And I'm like, I think that actually might be too much for me. I think like the 3 times speed that it's at right now is enough. Like that's good. So man, yeah, I wish that there was like, there would be more games with this. A lot of the Final Fantasy remasters that they added on Switch had this. It's like a 3 times speed for, I think it was 10 and 9 and 7 all had them.
Wow.
Like the original versions that they put out on Switch. And God, that really helped. I was able to just like breeze through both 7 and 9 when those came out and engage with them in ways that I hadn't before, just because I was like, I don't have 40 hours to like grind with Zidane to get him up to the right level, you know?
Zidane. Yep.
But like with the turbo speed, you just walk out and beat like 10 guys in a few minutes and you're like, all right, great. We're good. I can keep playing the video game. Yeah. So yeah, turbo speed mode. Really enjoy it.
Love it.
There's something fueling your sense of optimism, David?
Yeah, it's An accessory.
Okay, sure enough. Like a chain, like a ring.
Ooh, a gold chain. No, like a case for your Switch too.
Oh yeah, you got the D brand.
I got the D brand because I am also a D brand.
You're David Brand.
I'm a David Brand. Yeah, I got the Kill Switch case.
Yeah.
Which
is fixed.
Which is fixed, they said online, and I can report that I can hold it in with one Joy-Con and like wiggle it around. There's a little wobble. When you do that, but it don't pop off. Yeah, feels good. It's a nice case. It has a good texture to it. It works well. It looks sleek. I like that.
Sure.
I wouldn't say it's the most ergonomic case you could get. I like the ones that kind of come like angle out away from the actual size or shape of the console, because then you're not extending your wrist quite as much when you're holding on to it. This one is still pretty darn good. I know I had said earlier that the Switch 2 felt pretty good in my hands. I didn't know if I was going to need a case, but then I tried playing it laying down on my back, and I'm like, I need a case. Case because this is going to fall on my face right now, and I'm both holding it up with my thumbs and using my thumbs to play the console right now, and that is a recipe for disaster for long periods of play.
Sure.
But yeah, I really love it right now. It's nice. It's sleek. It's good. It feels nice. It feels premium. It's a solid case. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
Cool. I got a case as well, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to invest in another one. Mm-hmm. I should have just tried to hold yours, although you didn't have it at the bachelor
party.
I
didn't have it at that point. I had read and heard all about the disconnect gate going on, where the controllers would pop off. But they released a very convincing video to me online, and I checked the subreddit, and people seemed assuaged by what they had done. So I was like, oh, if Reddit's happy with it, then it means they did something.
It's a high bar.
That's a high bar to jump over. But they did it. So yeah, it's doing me good right now.
Nice. Love that. Well, cool. Do you want to move on to our main thing, Dave?
Yeah, let's do it.
Very cool. Welcome to Good Games. It's a segment where we talk about the okayest games of yesteryear and gush all the things that we love about them. We're on a racing kick right now.
Yes, we're big racers right now.
Big racing right now. And we will eventually have to switch over to scary video games for next month. Yes. But
as is written in our contract.
Right, yeah, we don't get paid. I mean, we don't get paid regardless, but we especially don't get paid if we don't do scary games in October.
Exactly.
But this week, we are doing a game called San Francisco Rush Extreme Racing.
Yes.
This was suggested to us by listener Unicycles. Thank you, Unicycles. And on the topic of this game, they had to say, I like the song that plays when it asks you to enter your name. What's your name? Said in parentheses. They also said, I played this a lot as a youngin'. It's a very solid and fast arcade racer with hilarious physics and some really fun tracks full of creative shortcuts. Reminiscent of Sega racing games. I feel like it gets overlooked when compared to other similar racing games on the N64. Beetle Adventure Racing, Extreme G, and Wave Race 64. We have covered 2 out of those 3. So
sure have. Look at us go.
I'm sure we'll have to do Beetle Adventure Racing to round out all of them.
Intrigued by Beetle Adventure Racing. The name alone is very evocative to me.
I thought that was like the Mac game. Oh no, it's the Beetle, like the Volkswagen Beetle.
Oh, okay. Herbie, non-branded Herbie.
Herbis.
Oh, Herbold.
This is Herbold Unleashed.
97% liked this video game.
That's pretty high. There's no way.
That is a high mark.
That's actually true. That's
what Google says, so it's true. All right, Metacritic's 90%. IGN gave it a 9.1 out of 10. eBay gave it a 5 out of 5.
The famous for their gaming takes, eBay.
Don't know why that's a thing on here, but yeah.
Oh man, in the development it does say soundtrack features breakbeat consisting of drums, organs, and guitars.
Oh,
I'm in, man.
Chase is there.
So before we do hot stats, I would like to play you the What's Your Name song.
Please.
Just real quick so we can kind of, I feel like that's going to set the tone for this whole segment pretty well. So let me show you this to David. Listener, I will of course play this for you as well.
All right, I'm ready.
Are you ready, David?
I'm ready.
Okay. What's your name? Start with a C. Start with a G. Start with a Z.
Why?
Nothing nasty now.
Why does it feel like I'm in Super Mario Sunshine right now?
Yeah, true.
Spell it.
Okay, hold on. I do want to pause on the aggression of spell it. Let's just one more time on that one. Spell it. Really aggressive. There's something towards the end here as well that's fun.
That's your name.
Yes, that's your name. It's very.
The way that this person said spell it was giving strong Bilbo Baggins when he's being tempted by the ring energy from Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings.
Why shouldn't I keep it? Why shouldn't I keep San Francisco?
Spell it.
Can I hit you with some hot stats, David?
Please.
All right, great.
Hot stats.
So San Francisco Rush Extreme Racing came out December 1996 for N64 arcade and PlayStation 1. This was made by Atari Games, which has made approximately 1 million video games. So from this era, you might recognize some titles like Mace the Dark Age, or California Speed, or Gauntlet Legends, or Road Burners.
Oh. It's like Saltburn?
I think it is just like Saltburn, just as freaky as that one was. Road Burners is a
nice.
fresh, hot new take. I do have a review from the outlet called Game Players. I took their review originally, I think this was actually in English originally, and ran it through Google Translate a number of times to mangle it up real good, which I'm going to read for you now, David.
Let's hear it.
Having played several coin-op games, some of which simply blew me away, I can safely say that despite its flaws, Rush kisses its cousins. Still, for an N64 racing game, the graphics are quite good. However, the songs are far too short. That's not to my taste, and it's not to many other players' taste. The game is full of funny whoops and whoops, but they don't add much to the driving action. Instead, the music could be interpreted in many different ways. With that in mind, the music is probably the only real recommendation for this game. If you love outdoor racing and want one of the best games on a 64-bit console, I highly recommend Kissing. And they gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Where in this review did they originally accuse San Francisco Rush Extreme Racing of being incestuous?
Yeah, right at the top. Rush kisses its cousins.
Yeah, and then at the end, it recommends kissing, which the only other time we talked about kissing was kissing your cousin. So it sounds like they turned the reviewer into being like pro kissing your cousin. I don't know. That's what I'm getting out of it right now.
They took a turn halfway. They're like, listen, I don't like this at all. And then by the end of it, you know what? I highly recommend Kissing.
It made me want to kiss my cousin, so
I'm not going to tell
okay
you
in my book.
They gave it an 8.5. They clearly liked it a little bit.
Clearly liked it.
What is this game?
We all like it a little bit.
What is the video game?
This is an arcade racer, similar in vein to like a Cruisin' USA sort of deal.
Yes.
Feels like a competitor to it in this time frame, except that this one takes place solely in the city of San Francisco. So you have, I saw 4 different tracks. I don't know how many there are in total. There's probably more to unlock, but I played 4 different ones that take you through different iconic areas of San Francisco, and you race different like 4 other AI characters in the game.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can choose between some different cars, and they have different difficulties of how they are to handle. And then there's like the extreme one that has a big old flashing sign like, watch out, this is a real deal car. And of course you have to pick it.
They play a sound effect of a man screaming when you hover over
the
extreme difficulty car.
Which is amazing. It's fantastic.
It's really good, yeah.
But yeah, that's in a nutshell what this game is. Oh, but you can explode in this game if you hit a wall too hard. Unlike Cruisin' USA, where you just do a little flippy flip and you land right back to where you were before.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
You're totally fine. Yeah, that's the video game. It is another racer.
Yeah.
This one not a kart racer. There's no like attacking or anything.
These are full-blown cars in this game.
These are full-blown cars, yeah. What'd you think of this one? How'd you feel?
I mean, it was about as enjoyable as like my description of it could, like you would think it would be, right? It is a racing game. It's pretty shallow. It's a pretty shallow game. I remember really loving Rush 2049 when I was a kid, and I'd be curious to play that after this one because that one came out after this one and had kind of like a futuristic flair to it. I think the thing that impressed me the most about this game was kind of how well they recreated San Francisco in like an N64 PlayStation 1 engine. You know, it really did feel like, hey, I recognize that. I recognize that. You know, both of us grew up in Sacramento, so we'd go down to the Bay Area all the time. So we kind of know that area decently well. Not like a native, but you at least know the landmarks, right? So I was impressed by the tracks and the detail put into the environments. Some of the tracks had very hard portions, like really hard segments, where all of a sudden I'm driving into the city and I'm just crashing my car and exploding into the side of skyscrapers repeatedly. I'm like, people are dead.
Yeah.
This is a disaster. This is going to be all over national news.
Yeah.
Because I have crashed like 10 times into these walls because it's like 90-degree turns in this city street. I'm like, okay, I understand what you're going for here, but at the same time, give me like some visual cue or warning that I'm about to hit a hairpin right here.
It's strange because like a lot of the levels are pretty easy until they aren't.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're really just cruising along, and then out of nowhere it's like, oh my God, this is a much harder level.
The track difficulty flips a switch every now and then, which is kind of like the canonical experience of driving in San Francisco. So I also appreciate
that's true,
that. It's like you're on the freeway, it's easy, and then you get off the freeway and it's just a hellscape.
Or accurate.
It is the more accurate San Francisco. So yeah, the tracks, while they were beautifully detailed, maybe we're trying so hard to recreate the feeling of San Francisco to the detriment of actually being like having a good feel and flow to the level itself.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You're with me.
The couple of the levels I played, I was like, is this too easy? Like, is it too easy of a video game? And then there's like one turn where I just fucking blow it.
Yep. Every single time.
All.
Yep.
Like absolutely fuck it up. Whereas the rest of it's just kind of like easy, sort of slight turns every now and then. It's just so you go a little cruising along. It's not too bad. And then, quite often I had to just like do as little of a crash as I could, but like, I'm not going to make the turn. That's not a thing I will be doing. So like, I'm just going to have to try to drift into the wall as softly as I possibly can.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. It's such a bizarre video game. It is so over the top in so many ways, which I think is really the draw here.
Yes, it wears its heart on its sleeve.
It sure does. The man screaming when you're hovering over like the difficulty, that's very funny.
Yeah.
The music is deranged, like just absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
Can I play you just a clip from the track Rave Rush?
Sure, please.
The man screaming sound effect is really bracing.
I'm pretty sure the keyboard that my parents had in our house had that same sample of a man screaming on it.
It's also panning left and right. I don't know if that's going to come through on the podcast or not.
It's in stereoscopic sound. Wow.
Anyway,
this is the, like 80s music when they started using electronics, like modification, was so simple because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And in the 90s, people were like, I know what I'm doing. I'm cooking with this beat right now, and just make these ungodly concoctions of music. And they somehow get put into major releases of video games. And it's kind of fantastic and kind of terrifying.
Yeah, that is part of the charm at this point for me, is just like, that sounds borderline bad, and like that's really enjoyable for me. I really like that it doesn't sound very good for a racing game.
It sounds like a fever dream feels.
Yes. Yeah. It's not enjoyable to the ears, but enjoyable to my soul.
Whoa, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Got a little deep right there. I liked it.
It's like Death Grips.
Ooh.
Not always enjoyable to the ear, but like feel it.
There's something, there's vibes. It's running on vibes.
Yeah, there's something there.
Also, did you watch the opening cinematic of the game?
I didn't know there was one.
There's an opening cinematic of the game, and it ends with no reason with a giant explosion, like a car just exploding for no reason. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready.
I'm in. This is it.
That's what happened 8 times in a row when I was driving through the streets of San Francisco in this game, so they knew what was going to happen.
Again, lore accurate San Francisco. This is what was happening in 1996 in San Francisco, just exploding cars.
Yeah, no. Do you think one of the developers went to San Francisco and just like drove around and was like, I got a great idea for a game.
I've got such a good idea.
Driving around this city, and people are going to feel that in these levels. It's fine, it's great, it's dandy, and then all of a sudden you're in the shit and you don't even realize it until it's too late.
The soundtrack is very intentional. It's supposed to make you feel hellish to be there. The guan 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 guan. It's like it's supposed to be scary.
Maybe this game's a lot deeper than we're giving it credit for. Maybe it's just one big commentary.
Yeah. Extreme racing is really just a metaphor for what it's like to live there and drive. Like, to be clear, it is hard to drive in San Francisco. It's not fun.
Yeah. It's not an easy city to get around in.
No, especially because like I feel like I'm always being tailed by somebody who's lived there for 35 years and is just like so pissed that I don't know the city as well as they do. It's it's a challenging place to drive. I did kind of enjoy that their levels were like almost doing the Mario Kart World thing, where like sometimes you would play a level and it's like you have to drive to get to the track a little bit. Like there's like a lead up to the track. There's like a kind of not a straightaway, but like a little bit of just like single bit of road, and then you start doing the circuit. Because at first I was like very confused about like what am I doing here? Like I see the people racing in front of me and like see the route they're taking, so I know where to go. But like, what is the point? And then it wasn't until I did like a lap that I was like, okay, wait, no, I see what's happening here.
I get it.
Yeah, I like that. That's fun. That's cool. More a deeper mechanical bit that I was expecting from San Francisco Rush.
And I did enjoy some of the shortcuts that they would let you do, where it's like,
for sure,
you're on a freeway and they're telling you to go on the off ramp, but you could also just keep on going on the part of the freeway that hasn't been like finished yet and like jump off and maybe get a little bit further ahead. I was like, that's cool.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah. I feel like any games of this era, like if they have that, I'm suddenly like, okay, I feel like we know what we're doing here. That's fun.
You know how to make a racing game. Look at you.
It rewards a little bit of replayability to be like, oh shit, I think I saw a shorter way to get through here.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like the AI really comes for you in this game. It's not easy. It's extreme.
No,
it's extreme.
It's extreme racing. Absolutely. Like the racing isn't always hard, but like being in first is hard. Very hard.
Yeah.
I rarely was like near the back of the pack, but it was very rare that I was in first.
I used the Screaming Man car because anytime that there's a car that has a giant flashing sign saying this is going to be so hard, this is simulation driving, I have to touch.
Yeah, you got to try.
Did you try it?
No, not at all. I was too scared.
The only thing that's different about it is that when you even turn just the slightest amount, you just start like drifting immediately, like skidding, and it slows you down so much.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like the worst car. It's like the worst car. Like I was driving around in it. I'm like, okay, it's supposed to have a high speed. I wasn't overtaking anybody when I was doing straightaways.
Oh, interesting.
And then I would just turn like a small turn and it would just go into like the most intense turn you'd ever seen and like start skidding out and I lose all my speed and everyone would pass me. I was like, okay, this is just a silly car. Actually, this is a silly car.
This is an extremely bad car is what's happening.
Yes. The man screaming is me playing this car because it's so annoying.
Playing the video game. Yeah, I did not have a problem racing with like the beginner van that they give you. I was like, I'm keeping up. Like I feel fast enough.
Yeah. Because it had the great handling. You didn't slow down with it when you turned. That's the big change. Yeah.
You didn't turn very much, but that didn't, for the levels that I played, that did not prove to be much of a problem.
Yeah, you even think about turning in the Screaming Man car and it goes like on a 45-degree angle and you're like, oh God.
And when the man screams.
Man screams.
Yeah, a very silly game, but like it felt like there was more to it. I feel like than some of the other racers that we play here. As far as like the physics go, the rest of it's very arcade racery. Like if you lose a race, at the end of it, it just says game over. Like you're playing an arcade game, which I think more games should be brave enough to say game over once you like just play a little bit of it. I think that's very
That's
funny.
all we got.
That's it. That's kind of the vertical slice that we're going to be doing. I also love that in the game, they give you the option to like sign in or make a character, or one of the options is just like just race. I don't want to sign in, which I found hilarious that they're like, you don't have to. It's just like, if you want to track your stuff, you're cool. But like you can just get into the motherfucker and that's cool too, which I did. I did just want to race.
Hell yeah. Just race.
Yeah.
Just get in here.
Just race.
That's all I did too. I just wanted to race.
I did a couple of the circuits. Got to go fast. I did a few of the circuits and that was pretty good too, but it was, kind of what you'd expect, just like tournament rules. So more than one race at a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. It's, I remember at the time, like being very impressed by games that could even close to represent a real place. And so like, it was very impressive at the time to see like, oh my God, this is supposed to be like a real area in real life. Like GTA 3 being like a facsimile of New York was like, whoa, dude, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Like they tried to model it after New York is wild. And so like at the time, I'm sure this was very, very impressive. Of course, in 2025, it's like, it's kind of San Francisco, like there's some parts that are familiar. It's not perfect, but you see the Golden Gate that's in there. And some of the houses, like it's San Francisco architecture a little bit. But of course, like, if you built it exactly like San Francisco, it'd be a nightmare to play this video game.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think there's a certain amount of charm to that, which I enjoyed. I like that.
They were cowards though. They didn't put Lombard Street in here.
Is that true? I didn't play every map, but I feel like that's a must include
at least
for a San Francisco
game.
game.
That I played, there was no Lombard Street.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta that's such an iconic road specifically.
Right.
And so like, why not put that in a video game?
That's deep.
I guess in a game where you're regularly reaching heights of 150 miles per hour, like maybe a extremely curvy road is not the move, but still. Do you have anything else to say about San Francisco Rush Extreme Racing, David?
No, it's just goofy, silly fun.
Yeah, it is goofy,
silly fun. The music
fun.
and the sound effects and just like the conceit of the game are probably the things I will remember the most about it.
It felt like the departments that were building the racing and the departments that were doing everything else lived in like different
We're
states.
Not talking at all.
No, extremely not. And they're like, hey, we have this cool racing game. And they're like, I've got some fucking music for you, man.
I got some beats for you.
These tracks are going to blow your socks off. How do we communicate how hard it is to drive this? I think one of you should get in the sound booth and scream as much as you can. We have easy, normal, hard, and screaming.
Spell it. Spell it. Spell it.
Okay, yes, it's same deal. It's goofy, silly fun, and I like that. So, Unicycles, thank you for suggesting this.
Thank you.
This one. If you want to interact with us on the internet, you can go to podtimism.com and do stuff there. We have links to our email, to our Discord, which is a fun place to be if you're a fan of this show and a bunch of other shows. We're on the TWG network, The Worst Garbage, and there's a bunch of great podcasts on there. The one that I will highlight today, let's shout out Trails Through Trails one more time because that game is hot right now. They're on their second season, I believe.
Game, second season. Let's go.
Yeah. So give them a look if you want to, but there's a multitude of other games podcasts, there's comics podcasts, there's Warrior Cats podcasts, you name it. So check it out. It's a cool place. I like being there. It's one of my favorite places on the internet, the Discord.
It's cats.
It's a cats. It's a guys.
I'm not going to attempt again. That's going to be too hard. It's too hard for my tongue right now.
If you want to suggest a game, you can also go there. So feel free to do that. Yeah. What else? Thanks. You know what? Here, I'm going to skip to this part. Thanks for listening.
Wow.
Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody who supports us making this show, big and small, whether it's you listening, whether it's anybody who's had a more direct influence on this show. And yeah, thank you. Appreciate you being here. And we're doing it. We're making the dang thing, dad and all, and I'm happy about that. So thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Do you have any gaming wisdom, David?
Take it for what it is. Take it for what it is. Don't compare it. Don't contrast it. At least not in the moment, right? Just whatever life has given you or whatever game you're playing. Yeah. Just experience it. See what it's thrown at you. See what you want to engage with, and then whatever comes from that. That's what you got. What you got, baby.
That's what you got. I mean, it's good wisdom. You're essentially just saying be present. Video game wise.
Be present. Don't let the internet force you to be a hot take machine.
Yeah, no.
We don't need any more hot takes in this world. The world's too hot. The world is too hot.
We don't need more opinions.
No,
period.
we don't.
Which I know is ironic given the position we're in, but like I try to like have fewer opinions in real life to kind of make up for the fact that I have a lot about video games.
Fair enough.
Just like shit that like doesn't need me to have an opinion. I'm like, hell yeah.
But I mean, you're like a Taco Bell mild sauce amount of opinionated on this podcast. You can still have opinions.
Yeah, it's usually not that spicy. No. And any of them are like with a lot of caveats and nuance. It's not like this guy fucking sucks. It's like, well, I don't think it's really for me.
Exactly.
Except for Kingdom Hearts 3. I got a little bit of sauce for that.
You had some sauce for it, but you haven't beaten it. So
yeah.
opinion is invalid. Bro. That's my hot take.
I'm going to get really owned when I like that game, actually.
Dude, I'm going to own you with facts and logic.
In the marketplace of ideas. I'm looking forward to being owned on that one, to be honest.
Okay, let's see.
I would love to really like that game. That would be a very cool turnaround. I don't think I will, to be clear, but I bet I will gain an appreciation for it that I probably don't have at this very moment.
The ending is worth it.
Yes.
If you're a fan of the series, the ending was like, okay, they cobbled together something at the end. Does the ending leave you with a feeling of like, oh wow, they really ended this in an interesting and good way? No. But it ends in a very Kingdom Hearts way.
Yeah. Maybe that's what we can say about this episode of the podcast.
Wow.
Was the ending worth it? I don't know. But it ended a lot like Kingdom Hearts.
Could you say that about a lot of our podcasts?
Yes.
Probably.
Very much.
Probably.
I feel like we very much fall off the rails at the end, but we sort of make reference to Sora, and then that's where it ends.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that counts.
Sure does.
All right. See you next week, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
TWG, the worst garbage, online.